CNN-FM, the financial network.
Good evening and welcome to It's Only Money for this Monday, January 15th. Our program wraps up the day. We'll give you all the final figures of the market, take a look at the top stories of the day, and we'll view the best of the day right here on FM.
And today we'll be talking about small business opportunities for minorities. We'll get the inside scoop on examples of corporate stupidity, and we'll take your calls and answer your personal finance questions. All this and more. Stay tuned. And welcome back. Robert Simmons now joins us. He's a small business expert at Investar Corporation. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Thank you.
Now, firstly, I want to ask you one question. What is available for minorities who are interested in investing in a small business? And what's the difference between what a minority has available and what your average person would have available?
Well, there's an enormous amount of resources available through local economic development corporations, which are available in most states of the country. The difference between minority and small, regular, typical small businesses is that there are still programs available for minorities to get started and get a leg up in starting or opening a business.
And who qualifies as a minority, just before we...
Minorities, Hispanics, African Americans, women-owned businesses.
Mm-hmm. And what about Koreans or...
Koreans, they would also...
I hear Koreans do wonderful work. They start up little stores and save up all tons of money. Why do people that are doing quite well need help?
Well, in many cases, Koreans are coming in and Asians are coming into America with their own resources. So they're bringing their expertise as well as their resources to the United States, and they're able to expand into the economy at a much faster rate.
And there's a great deal of community involvement, as I understand, in terms of financing for, I mean, I've read about the Koreans. What about sources for African Americans? What are the sources for a lot of the money that they can come up with to start their businesses?
Well, there are different programs available. For example, the Small Business Administration has something called the Specialized Small Business Investment Corporation, which targets minority and women-owned businesses, as well as credit unions. Credit unions are becoming a major force in small business lending because they're looking for other avenues to invest their resources instead of throwing it in a CD of some sort, which is only going to pay 4 or 5%.
Right. What about the budget impasse and then the further specter of the new budget priorities when and if a budget is finally pushed through? What impact will that have on small businesses, the SBA, which I understand you used to work for, and even especially in this area of minority opportunities?
Well, a lot of these programs are on the verge of being eliminated or reduced altogether. I try to tell minority and women-owned clients that they shouldn't take all of their resources and focus on these different programs, because with a Republican-led Congress and the president in his position where he is, as well as the different the main decision that was made last summer, the Adirondack versus Federico Pena decision, which reversed discrimination suit, these different programs are being more and more under attack today, more so than ever before.
Let me take a backward step, and we just saw Catherine Barrett's report about the economic status of African Americans, who are really one group within this minority universe. But on this Martin Luther King Day, how would you assess how the African American entrepreneur has fared? There have been great success stories, but does that define for you what the reality is?
Well, the reality is still most businesses don't succeed, but those few that do succeed, they receive lots of advertising based on the nature that they're able to make it through the windy storms. 80 to 90% of the businesses that actually start don't succeed.
And what's the reason behind that?
In many cases, in my experience, it's been lack of capital or lack of access to capital, as well as poor management skills and financial savvy to get the company running.
Very quickly, we only have about 10 seconds, but where can you look for help, if not these public sources of money?
I suggest that any individual that's interested in raising capital go directly to the local economic development corporation within their state.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Robert, for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. And when we come back, celebration in Japan, when there's not much to celebrate, we'll tell you why Japan's Generation X is X'd out of the job market when we come back.